Hello YouTube, it's another gloomy day here in the UK. As most of you know, I try to use natural light for my videos because I don't have a lighting setup, so this is the best we're going to do this week. Today we are continuing my ongoing series till the Fabled End, in which I review every single Fables Deluxe Edition hardcover. Today we are looking at Deluxe Edition Book 5, and let's dive straight into it. So, this is the cover. This is the spine. Again, like you can see, this lines up completely what we're used to. And here we have the back. Once upon a time, and then some stuff here. There was a sticker on here, and I removed it with some white spirit. It just took a while. And it's now very, very slick. So that looks good. Let's have a look. Inside flaps, we have the usual pull quotes here. And then we have the usual biography of Bill Willingham here. Inside pages are just the purple, as per usual. Let's have a look under the DJ, and what we have here for the first time is a printed glossy cover which actually is different to that of the dust jacket. So the dust jacket is the cover of the trade paperback called Homelands, whilst this is the cover of the trade paperback called 1001 Arabian Nights, or Arabian Fables, or something like that. We'll talk about it in a second. But my point is, for the first time now, we've got a bit of a difference between the dust jacket and what's printed underneath. Frankly, that's a bit of a relief for me, because I was designing the thumbnails for these videos, and the intention was to have this image without any text on it whatsoever as the thumbnail, and some of them were quite tricky to track down without any text on. So I may well start throwing in other random things, because hey, if the publisher does it, why can't I? Alright, let's have a look at the comic itself. So this is Volume 5. Volume 5 very straightforwardly just collects, if you can see here, issues 34 to 45. So looking at it, we've got introduction. Then we've got Jack Be Nimble. Keep in mind, Jack Be Nimble is 2 issues. It doesn't say so here, but it is 2 issues. Then we have the Homelands trade paperback, parts 1 to 5. Here it is. Arabian Nights and Days. That's what it was. This is the second trade paperback, and then we have the usual bonus features. So I guess this is issues 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. There we go. Right, let's have a look through it. We've got an introduction by Matthew something or other. Someone who clearly works with Bill Willingham quite closely, and it's a decent intro. A bit long, but it's fine. Then we have the Jack Be Nimble 2-issue story arc. Now this is specifically about Jack of Fables. So the character that we've seen, in fact, he was one of the first Fables we ever saw in the entire series. And it's about him going to Hollywood and, his success. These 2 issues are really, really good. Partly just because they're good, they're well written, they're really interesting, but also it's a good kind of dissection of Hollywood culture, and Hollywood obviously being a very, very horrible place. So that's the first issue of it, and then this is the second issue of it as it continues, Jack Be Nimble Part 2. The key thing I'd point out here is that this takes place after hardcover Deluxe Edition 3. And the end of this 2-issue arc, so I'm flicking through because I don't want to put in any spoilers, but the end of this arc ends with Jack kind of walking off on his own way. And this then leads into the Jack of Fables ongoing series, which is a spin-off from Fables that has its own deluxe editions. This obviously leaves us, the readers, with a bit of a question. Should we stop reading here and then read of Jack of Fables, the 3 hardcovers? Or should we read all of this hardcover and then move on to Jack of Fables before coming back to hardcover 6? There's a lot of questions here, and we'll address those before the end of the video. So that's the first 2 issues. We then have the Homelands arc. I don't want to give any spoilers here because this arc is just brilliant. But what I would say is it's excellent. Absolutely excellent. And it's about one of the Fables going back to the Homelands, which is where Fables kind of live and what they do and so on. And they've all been invaded by the adversary. The adversary, very evil person doing very evil things. This story is brilliant. It reveals... this is the Snow Queen, which I guess is Elsa from Frozen. Anyway, so this 5-issue arc is just fantastic. It reveals who the adversary is, their secrets, their powers. It's just so clever in so many ways. And all of a sudden, like this series starts becoming this great sort of series about kind of a cold war between these two forces, Fabletown, the adversary. It's about espionage, it's about drama, it's about tension. There's twists, there's turns, there's reveals. As usual, you can see the usual kind of unusual framing mechanics involved and so on. And it's just, yeah, wall to the wall, off the hook, brilliant. It's really, really, really good. So, hugely recommended. If you've stayed with Fables this long, you are going to love this. If you read Deluxe Edition 3, which is March of the Wooden Soldiers, and you didn't enjoy it and you carried on reading, what are you doing here? But anyway, this is the next trade paperback, which is Arabian Nights and Days. And yeah, this is about the Arabian fables, so Scheherazade, Sinbad, all that sort of stuff, and about how they are leaving their fabled or mythical version of Baghdad and coming to Fabletown. It's about their diplomatic envoys and so on. Really interesting. Yeah, it's just great. It's a new take on kind of how these things work. I guess one of the things that's probably worth pointing out that they do here is, oh yeah, you can probably see it. So what they do is that this is the font of people speaking English. Zoom in, yeah, there we are. Mr. North, blah 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 blah, and this is the font of people speaking Arabic, which is slightly different, and that's how they delineate between people speaking one language and the other. I'm quite a fan of this. I think it's a really nice, subtle way of delineating when people are speaking different languages. Of course, one thing I would note is I know there's a lot of people on Twitter and YouTube who argue that, oh, this is horribly racist and blah, 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 blah. And I think one day I'll do a video about that, explaining how that's just an idiotic, not even just knee-jerk perspective, but very much a perspective of trying to foment outrage and dissent and argument for literally the sake of it. Trying to find outrage where there's no need to have one. I'm also conscious Bill Willingham is quite a polarizing figure, so it's quite fashionable to like label everything he does as horrific and racist. I didn't find this racist or offensive at all, and I thought the clever font choice of delineating between Arabic and English was very, very clever, very subtle, and very good. The story as a whole is very good. It's very sensitive towards Middle Eastern culture and Islam especially. So I hugely respect that. I know more than a little bit about Islam and more than a little bit about Middle Eastern culture. So I'm not going to sort of go out of my way to try to be offended. I don't manufacture offence on behalf of someone else. On behalf of myself and behalf of other people, this is totally cool. It's a good story. And the artwork, again, very competent, very solid. Let's have a quick look at the extra features. Here we are. Sketches. More sketches. And then some bio. Standard. And that is the end of it. Build quality and bind quality, as always, superlative. Nice tight binding, but not too tight. Great glossy finish, thick, robust pages. Really nice dust jacket that withstood a bit of white spirit scraping as I removed the sticker off the back there. Yeah. Great stuff, basically. Really enjoyed it. And I hope the overview was helpful. From my perspective, I would say, having read this, I'm going to continue on reading the Fables series. I'm going to read book 6 next. So book 6 of the deluxe hardcover editions of Fables. I am curious what's happening with Jack of Fables, but I'm not going to dive into the Jack of Fables deluxe editions yet. I suspect I'll probably read all 15 of these. And once I've read those, I will then read Jack of Fables. I may be wrong. It may turn out it's not the best reading order. If so, we'll find out together. But next week's homework is clear. Book 6, I'll see you all there.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, please follow me on Twitter at I am Thomas Judge, where I will post a daily review of whatever comics I've been reading. You can get an idea of what I'm up to on the channel. And as always, please support the channel by heading over to Amazon.com and checking out my prose novel about superheroes. It's a completely original piece of work. The first episode in it is called Arrivals, and the series as a whole is called No Gods or Kings. You can find an excerpt of that on my website, nogodsorkings.com. Until next time, everybody, stay classy.